Today in the SpaceEngine planetarium, we will visit the Orion Nebula, the Crab Nebula, the Lagoon Nebula, and the Helix Nebula, which is also called the Eye of God Nebula. And the first nebula we will visit in this video is the Orion Nebula. The Orion Nebula, or M42, is the closest stellar nursery to Earth, a bright emission nebula in the constellation of Orion, visible to the naked eye as a blurry spot below Orion's belt, at a distance of about 1,350 to 1,600 light-years from us. It is the largest region of active star formation in our galaxy, where thousands of young stars are currently forming, including the trapezium cluster at its very center, which illuminates the region. Not far from the Orion Nebula, I found this interesting planet with rings. Its temperature is 18 degrees Celsius. It has an atmosphere that consists of carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide. The atmospheric pressure is almost 9 atmospheres. This is the view from its surface. We can see the rings. This is the landscape. I'll also fly a little along the horizon so you can understand what kind of planet this is. There are some mountainous areas. I've moved across the planet, and now there will be a sunset here. The night sky will appear, and we'll be able to appreciate the view of the Orion Nebula. And the sunset, well, it's like this. Very beautiful. And here, the aurora appeared right away. I landed not far from the polar pole, and the view, of course, is amazing. I turned the camera in this direction. And yes, here we have a view of the Orion Nebula opening up. It looks simply amazing. I'll speed up time again, and now we can see the nebula moving across the sky, and clouds on this planet are also passing in front of it. Now let's fly to the center of the Orion Nebula. Let's look at the view of the nebula from an interesting planet. Here is the planet. Its average temperature is minus 31 degrees Celsius. It has an atmosphere consisting of carbon dioxide and oxygen. The atmospheric pressure is 0.224 atmospheres, and it's already in the center of the nebula, where there's such beauty all around. I've landed on the surface of this planet. We can see this landscape here. Here's the sky with clouds, and we can see it has a rather large satellite. And we see the stars and the main star that this planet orbits, but the nebula is not visible during the daytime. But if we move to the dark side of the planet, then the view here, of course, is simply amazing. The nebula is everywhere. The Orion Nebula is very beautiful, so you can enjoy this for a long time. And at the edge of the horizon, as we can see, the atmosphere embellishes the nebula with even redder hues. I'll speed up time again. And now we can see the movement of the nebula. This way, of course, everything is even more magical. Oh, and here you saw the nebula dimmed because the star rose and blinded everything. Now let's head to the next fascinating nebula, the Celestial Crab Nebula. The Crab Nebula, or M1, is the remnant of a supernova that exploded in the year 1054. Located in the constellation Taurus, it's a rapidly expanding and highly energetic gas cloud with a fast rotating pulsar, which is a type of neutron star located at its center. Now let's fly inside this nebula, and I'll show you this neutron star right away. Here is the neutron star, so bright. I'll speed up time. Here we see a rotating accretion disk. This is in HDR mode. If you look at it in automatic photo mode, the star looks like this. Gorgeous. We see the jets and this accretion disk, which is very bright. Stunning. I found this interesting planet not far from the Crab Nebula. Its temperature is minus 138 degrees Celsius. It has an atmosphere consisting of carbon dioxide, nitrogen, and carbon monoxide. The pressure on the surface is almost 14 atmospheres, and you can see the liquid on the surface of this planet. This liquid is not water, but carbon dioxide. Here's the view. In the distance, we can see that liquid carbon dioxide. So this is the body of liquid carbon dioxide. It certainly looks unusual, doesn't it, to see a liquid made of such an element. And in the distance, we can see mountains. And what a wonderful view it is here. I've moved to the dark side of this planet. This is the view of the Crab Nebula from here. I'll speed up time even more, and we'll be able to see how the nebula moves across the sky. But I've sped up time significantly. It rotates slowly here because it is tidally locked to its parent star. And so this nebula is setting below the horizon here. Flying to the next nebula now. The next nebula we'll look at is the Lagoon Nebula. The Lagoon Nebula, or M8, is an enormous cloud of hot gas and interstellar dust in the constellation Sagittarius, known as a region of active star formation, located about 4,000 to 5,000 light-years from Earth, with a size of about 100 light-years, which can be seen with binoculars as a nebulous patch with a core of young, hot stars named for the dark dust lane that resembles a lagoon. Look at the planet I found near this nebula. It's a planet with life. Here we have organic, multicellular, marine, and terrestrial life. Its temperature is 55 degrees Celsius, and the atmospheric pressure is almost 9 atmospheres. The atmosphere consists of nitrogen, oxygen, water vapor, and carbon dioxide. And there is liquid water on the surface. Here on the surface of this planet I found this beautiful spot. You can see the rings clearly, and here's the vegetation on the surface, and over there are mountains. And if we move to the top of the mountain, this is the view from here. Now a sunset will occur on this planet, and we will see the nebula in the sky. What a truly wonderful and breathtaking sunset. Alright, let's take a moment to look up at the sky, and yes, there's the magnificent, awe-inspiring nebula in all its glory. From the surface of this planet, it looks truly mesmerizing, captivating, and incredibly impressive. And it, following that bright star, will also eventually set below the horizon here. I'll even speed up time on purpose so we can see how this process unfolds. Awesome. Now let's fly inside this nebula. I found an interesting planet there, from which you can get a great view of the nebula. This planet here has its own ring system. Its temperature is -9 degrees Celsius. It has an atmosphere that consists of carbon dioxide, nitrogen, ammonia, acetylene, and sulfur dioxide. The atmospheric pressure is almost 1.5 atmospheres. And it's right in the center of this nebula. Everything looks so amazing here. This is the view from the planet's surface. Time in the planetarium is sped up 30 times. We can see its rings and the star it's rotating around. I'll fly forward a bit. It has a very peculiar surface and terrain here. I've moved to the dark side of this planet, and the view here is just amazing. The sky here is so bright, it's as if it's twilight, even though the star is far beyond the horizon. The view is simply magical. Everywhere you look, there's the nebula, and the clouds passing here, moving in front of the nebula, seem to add more color and make the view even more magical. Now it's time to head to the next nebula, called the Helix Nebula, but it's also known as the Eye of God. The Helix Nebula, also called the Eye of God. It's located in the constellation of Aquarius. It looks like a giant glowing gas from the death of a sun-like star, which shed its outer layers of gas. Located 650 light-years from Earth, it is one of the closest and largest planetary nebulae, and its core is a white dwarf, the remnant of the star that illuminates the surrounding gas. Well, since I mentioned the white dwarf, let's fly inside the nebula and take a look at it. So here it is. I'll switch to automatic photo mode and let's speed up time some more. Here we can see the movement of this white dwarf. It's really interesting. Also, besides it, there are 2 more red dwarfs here, so it's a triple star system inside the nebula, and it has its own planets. Of all the planets here, I found this interesting planet orbiting the white dwarf. Its temperature is -188 degrees Celsius, and it has an atmosphere consisting of nitrogen, ethylene, and ethane. The atmospheric pressure is just over 2 atmospheres. This is what it's like on the surface of this planet. We can see an active volcano in the distance. If you turn the camera this way, you can see the white dwarf shining so brightly. I've moved to the twilight zone on this planet. Look, what a wonderful view it is here. How amazing everything looks. And you can already see the silhouette of the nebula. Of course, the clouds are blocking it, but I think you can see the silhouette of this nebula, this red and white stripe. I've descended lower into the mountains. Now the stars will set behind the horizon, the 2 red dwarfs. And now full night is falling, I'll slow down time. And now we can clearly see this nebula. And since we are inside this nebula, the nebula is visible simply everywhere. Not far from this nebula, I found a planet that is completely covered with water. This is a cool superoceanic superaquaria. Its temperature is -93 degrees Celsius. The atmosphere contains carbon dioxide, nitrogen, water vapor, and sulfur dioxide, and the pressure is 0.19 atmospheres. This is what its surface looks like during the day, although it's tidally locked to its parent star, so it's always daytime here. And so we see a boundless ocean, and on the dark side, this breathtaking view of the nebula opens up. Wow, it's so bright here. If I speed up time even more, like this, we can see it moving across the sky, and it looks as if it's setting behind the horizon. Amazing. Thank you so much for joining me on this cosmic journey with me today. If you liked the video, please give it a like and write a comment. Thank you very much.